What's going on? It's your boy Dubz. Today I'm making a very long, detailed, in-depth video. And hopefully it's very informative to everybody and hopefully the devs. I'd love if they were to watch this. But basically, I want to go over what I feel would make a very excellent balanced tier 1 and tier 2. Kind of just, ranking all the servers in order. I'm going to rank the top 20 servers in my personal opinion in the game right now. Of course, it's very controversial and it could change. Things change all the time. But just my opinion, completely unbiased, not going to be based off of any relationships that I have with these other servers. I have a really good idea about all of them. As you can see, I've played 738 days consecutive, and I have played 16 Odysseys, been active every one of them, 16 Apexes. So I know a lot of these servers. I haven't played all of them, but I've played a lot of their players in Apexes and in Odysseys before they've migrated to them. So anyways, with that all being said, let's get through this. I'm going to rank them all here, so let's check it out. All right, so I'm going to start over here. We're going to do the tier 1 team first. I'm going to put, actually, I'm going to do 24. I think I made a list of 24. So I'm going to put 12 servers in tier 1, kind of based off of how I think they are strength wise, and I'm going to show you a little bit of each server to kind of try to verify or justify it basically. So anyways, starting off with number 1, and these aren't perfect, these are just my opinions, but starting off number 1, we are going to put in, where are they? Going to be Thrace. So number 1 in the tier 1, I think, is going to be Thrace. Their top alliance IMRT, and here's why. So Thrace is usually top 2 in alliance might. They're down a little bit right now, but everyone knows who Supplier is. He's an extremely strong infantry whale. They also have Richie Rich, which is like a maxed cav whale, and a bunch of others. They're super active. I have never played them since they got really big, since they had that huge massive migration. But yeah, they have a lot of active whales and their Discord's extremely active. So that's what I'm going to go with number 1. Number 2, in my opinion, I think is Wallachia, or Wallachia, however it's pronounced. They're not as high on the might list. However, they have so many cav whales there that one's going to be online at all times, and most of the time probably multiple of them, like super cav whales. I checked a few minutes ago. I don't see their top 2 in the alliance right now, which would be Sven and Funky. But I'm pretty positive they're both max stats. And on top of them, they have one here that's pretty much maxed as well. And then so yeah, I think they got 4 or 5 maxed cav whales, and then they also have a very strong infantry whale. So yeah, so this server is definitely cav based, and the reason I think I put Thrace just barely ahead of them. I think they're basically tied in my opinion, but Thrace has that infantry whale, and that's going to make the difference if these two were to fight each other. So yeah, that's number 2. Number 3 is going to be Savoy or Savoy. They have the strongest cav whale in the game in Von Piers. I'm currently fighting him in this server right now in Odyssey, and his stats are insane. They're out the charts, out the roof, and he's also the #1 in kill points in the game. So not only do you have like the strongest cav whale, but just a crazy fighter that doesn't stop. They also have another super whale cav player. So they've got options, and then they also have an infantry whale. So those are like their 3 big hitters. In my opinion, other than that, oh, they have another player here. But these are the 3 that do all the rallies for them. Von Piers is their garrison and main rallier, and then Friad and then Macedon. So they're really, really strong, and that's why I have them as number 3. So let me find Wallachia and Savoy. Here's Savoy. And yeah, this took a long time to make, like all these screenshots. So I tried to find a better, like a website that already had a tier list maker, but it would have been too small to really see everything. So yeah, that's why I had to go to this here. Kind of do it this way. Yep. So we're actually going to make these a little smaller so we can fit 4 per line. Not perfect, but anyway. All right. Next that I thought would be number 4 is Trebizond. Trebizond has right now by far the highest might alliance. And for such a long time, they were a locked kingdom, basically for like, I think over a year. And their secondary alliance at one point, for a long time, was higher might than half of these servers. But basically all the ones that I'm going to put down in tier 2, they were higher than. So let me throw them up here and show you why. Where are you, Trebizond? I think I made my list too big. Here we go. So yeah, you could see them way up here as far as might. And so their top player, or fighter at least, is going to be this player, Wosha. Pretty close to max cav. I mean, the books are 100% complete, except this one here. But I also pushed them a little higher due to his fighting ability. He's just behind Von Piers as the most kill points in the game, so extremely active. They also have some other cav whales. Their activity's crazy. And they also have DJ. He's an archer player. I haven't fought them in a long time, so I'm not sure how well they can fill archer rallies, but regardless, if they can fill one, and with his swarms, it's pretty crazy. So that's who I've got as number 4. Number 5, I'm going with Aragon. Aragon is another server I haven't fought in a very long time. I think we fought them twice. Once our very first Odyssey, because I think they're the server like 1 or 2 servers ahead of ours as far as age. So maybe like 3 weeks older or something like that. And then we played them one other time, like our third Odyssey, but they've changed a lot since then. Anyway, so they have Dre, an extremely strong cavalry whale. And they also have RK5 as their infantry whale. So that's nice. They got the options there. And they just look, to me, they just look extremely active. Based on clicking like a lot of their players, their kill points are crazy. So I'd assume they're extremely active and they have a lot of strong players. So let me throw them up here. All right, so after Aragon, I believe it will be, here we are, Antioch. All right, so Antioch, they are extremely strong. They're in the top 10 as far as might. They've got beast mode, which is pretty much a max cavalry super whale. Crazy kill points. They also have a infantry super whale. So very similar to Aragon in that matter, where they got like one of each. And then they have a top fighter in the game as far as kill points. And then tons of other like strong whales. Not super whales, but just like really strong whales. A bunch of them. Well, this might be super whale. Anyway. Yeah, so they look active as far as kill points. So yeah, they're definitely up there pretty high. All right, so next we've got, which I believe should be in tier 1. Too many. Here we go. Is Soul. So Soul, top alliance Soju. They're not in the top 10 as far as might, but when it comes to whale power, they're stacked. I think their strongest is going to be wind. So a lot of these players, it's just like everything's completely max as far as mounts, tactics, and Warmonger. Also, a lot of them are at the 95 prosperity mark where they get T10s in the final age. So anyway, so other than wind, completely stacked with strong fighters and whales. So very strong server, especially for their might. It's pretty crazy. They're probably the strongest, I think, as far as like might to strength ratio. So yeah, tons and tons of those. All right. Next, in my opinion, is going to be Busan. And they are, no, their flags are red. Let me see, where are they though? Do I not have them? Okay, anyway. So here we are, Busan. Oh no, it's gold. Let me just do this real quick. Anyway, so Busan has Cafeteo, and Cafeteo is like completely maxed on everything here. Cav Whale. Another crazy thing about him is his infantry. His infantry is possibly higher than mine, stronger than mine, and I'm the strongest infantry in my server. So like, you could literally fill his rallies with cav or infantry and compete with anyone, I think. So that makes them very strong. Cody, the first emperor in the game, very high kill points, very strong cavalry. And then Winspector is their infantry guy, very strong. And then, yeah, they have a lot of active players and a lot of fighters, but Cafeteo and Cody are kind of their top two. So let me see. So they were orange. Maybe I did already have them on here. Oh, I did have them on here. I thought it was red. Tripping dubs. So let's just organize this a little bit better. There we go. So far, let's see what we've got. All right. So far, we've got Thrace, Wallachia, Savoy, Trebizond, Aragon, Antioch, Seoul, and Busan. These servers are so familiar with each other because they're literally playing like Odysseys together all the time, always. Well, except for Savoy. They're a newer server, but their whales were in an older server that used to be with them. So these guys, they all know each other and play each other all the time, as they should. They're just by far like the top servers in the game. So yeah. Continuing down the list, we've got, who did I put down after Busan? Okay, so this one's gonna shock a lot of people. I think they're gonna be like, no way, they belong in tier 1, or they're stronger than the other ones in line. But in my opinion, I think they are, and they're pretty far down the list here in might. But let's see if I can find them. Here we go, all the way down in 35th. I think this server here, Flanders, is a tier 1 server. It's the newest super server created, or one of them. There was a few this migration that were created. But anyways, it has a lot of great veteran fighters. and it starts with their super whale that I believe came from Seoul, which we just showed you recently. But I mean, he looks completely maxed and extremely high kill points. So with a garrison captain like that and a rally captain like that, they can go toe to toe with any of those other servers ahead of them. And then they also got a lot of good fighters. You got the King of Anatolia just went there. You've got the King of Genoa and Vika that just went there, and all their R4s. King of Wessex just went. Evergreen, extremely high kill point, strong fighter. So yeah, so that's why I feel they're up there with these other guys and can compete with them for sure. So let's add them to the list here. What color was their flag? Blue. Here it is. I feel like I'm missing somebody. I am missing somebody. All right. Don't comment at me saying, "Oh, you're tripping, Dubs. I can't believe. Why would you?" Okay, I forgot. All right, I forgot. So we're gonna have to scoot this down. Yeah, I am tripping. It's okay. You could tell me that. All right. So above these three, and I am so sorry. I'm looking at too many screens at once and too many things. Right here, I would put Frisia. Let me find Frisia. I don't know why my eyes skip past that here. And of course, it's because they have the strongest infantry player in the game. And I feel infantry whales like that, especially the strongest one in the game, if you're garrisoning with them or running rallies with them, you're just going to deplete your enemy's refills by having a better exchange than them until eventually they run out. So yeah, that's why I'm putting Frisia way up there on the list. And hold on, I think it's because I forgot to upload them. Their banner. Here it is. There we go. And then, yeah, so to take a look at them up towards the top. Plain and simple, they got SSR. I have fought in Frisia. I have fought SSR. At the time, it was Frisia and another very strong server at that time, Sardinia. And my force was us, Thuringia, and we had Busan. And even with Cafeteo and Cody and all of our refills, we just couldn't break SSR's garrisons and rallies. It was extremely fun and good. You know, Abigail and Beast Mode were there too, but we just couldn't break through it. So that's why they're up there so high. So yes, now that we fixed that, our last one was Flanders. So our next one on the list that I 100%, 1,000% think is a tier 1 server. They're extremely strong and active, and against Savoy, this Odyssey, they've been incredible. It's been crazy and fun to watch. Not as high on the might list, but they are Navarra. Really familiar with Navarra. I fought them many times, and I've allied with them many times. So I think their greatest fighter is Mimosa, Cavalry Whale. And they also have another one in Karis, Cavalry. So don't let their might fool you. If you see them in an Odyssey, just know they're gonna fight hard. They're gonna hit hard. Hoon is also cavalry, very strong, very active, and pretty much their whole R4 list is active fighters and good. So that's why I've got them there. And let's see if we can find them. I need more coffee after this video. I need to start paying attention to the colors of their banners as well. It's the blue one with the bird. No. Here it is. Yeah, that's easier when I do that. We got to pay attention to those. All right, so I'm putting them right behind Flanders. I would have them higher than Flanders, but Flanders just has that super whale, like max super whale. And just like I mentioned about Frisia, when you have a garrison captain like that, or a rally captain like that, you're just going to deplete your enemy's refills. So that's huge there. Next in line, since we're already on this, is going to be, let me find them. Now, I haven't fought them in a very long time, so I'm not 100% on their activity, but based off of their top players, let's see. All right, it's ItsDubzYo, but let me find them. Here they are. And this is great because we've got tier 1 finished now. All right, so ItsDubzYo. Again, I'm not too familiar with them, but looking at their stats, they're definitely a tier 1 server in my opinion. So Not Blood or Blood Haze was an emperor early in the game. I think he was like one of the first 3 or something like that. Extremely high kill points. Great cavalry whale. But their strongest by far is going to be Tyman. His Warmonger mountain tactics are completely maxed. So pretty incredible stats, good fighting, kill points. Another good kill point fighter here. So they got an infantry option. Probably really good, you know, if they're garrisoning with cavalry that, you know, they can run infantry counter rallies with this player here, stuff like that. So yeah. they're pretty strong. And again, with a player like Timon, you can compete with any server because you got that captain that can exchange even numbers with any other super well as far as garrison. So yeah, let's go over this here. So now we're completely done with what I think would make the perfect and most active, crazy, bloody tier 1 Odyssey, in my opinion. And that's going to be these servers here. So Thrace, Wallachia, Savoy, Trebizond, Frisia, Aragon, Antioch, Seoul, Busan, Flanders, Navarra, and Dacia. So let me know what you think. Drop a comment. How you think this is ranked as far as being like a super crazy active strong tier 1 Odyssey. I made 12 because I was kind of basing it off of the War of Shoguns map, where you could put, let's say, like these top 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So from Thrace all the way to Aragon in separate forces, and then kind of fill in the second forces with these 6. And I think it would just be absolutely nuts. It'd be crazy. So anyway, so that's tier 1. If you're still here and awake, appreciate you. Devs, hopefully you're watching. We're going to move on to tier 2. So in my opinion, for tier 2, I would put, where are we? Here we go. I would put my server, Thuringia. Here we go. And let's see. As far as might, we're number 12 right now. So we're very active, extremely active. In tier 2, we're a very strong server. This is our Cav whale. Definitely a tier 2 whale. And can compete with all the other tier 2 whales pretty well. And then I'm kind of like our infantry option. And then we also just have a ton of activity for a tier 2 server. We've got fighters with a lot of kill points, a lot of infantry strong players, with over 1,000 or 1,100 attack and defense running out there. So yeah, so anyways, that would be number 13 on the list. Next, in my opinion, would be a really young server, kind of like Flanders. Same migration period, I believe. They kind of did their super server wave. I just don't think they had as much power come to them as Flanders, but they did get a couple really good ones. And that would be my goodness, I got to do this better next time. It's going to be Bohemia. And Bohemia is right here. All right, so Bohemia. Let's check him out in game. What am I clicking on? Here we go. So they're down, as far as might, they're kind of down low because they're a new server. But don't let that fool you, because they've got 3 very, very strong veteran players. No, 4, maybe more. Anyway, they've got Butcher, which is an extremely strong infantry whale, probably 1,500 attack or so. So I mean, if he's in a garrison, they can probably hold almost anyone in tier 2. Warlord is also an older player, very strong cavalry player. Here's another strong infantry active fighter. Ivan Drago came over with Butcher in migration from the same server here. So yeah, they got, I don't know who this is. It's probably an original player from Bohemia. Okay, Archer. So they got a lot of good players here that can compete for sure in tier 2. Yeah, so that's why I've got them there. Next, in my opinion, is going to be, let me find them from here, it'd be easier. It's going to be another server that I've never fought yet, but looking at their stats and activity, I thought they would be next in line. Is this right? Corsica? Under 4 million might? Let me double check and make sure I have the right. All right, so if I'm right, I put them here due to this super whale. Because 95 prosperity, they got the max age. They can get T10s, I believe. And I mean, completely maxed mounts. Pretty close to max tactics, really high warmonger. You're going to have extremely high stats, like 1,600 probably, cav attack. Probably like close to 700 HP and damage with stats like these. And yeah, pretty much if this server is in your force, even if you don't have any whales, if this person's garrisoning captaining for you, like they can bang and hold it down with anybody in tier 2 for sure, by far. So young server, meaning very active. So I believe that's why I put them there. Next would be, who I put there is going to be, and this is another one of those young servers, but here we are, is Mecklenburg. Let's see, they're 4 million might. So don't let the might fool you. Look at all these gold frames. It looks beautiful. These guys are strong. extremely strong for being small, might, and young. You got a really strong fighting Cav player here, which would be super high in tier 2 as far as a fighter. And you got a whale. And his prosperities, these prosperities are high, so you know they got a lot of extra stats from those late ages to their skills and stuff. So yeah, these are really high up here. I'm just noticing now. I don't know why my eyes tricked me again and I overlooked them, but I'm gonna add them right now. Actually, there's 2. Why did I forget both of these? So we're gonna add Avon, and we're also gonna add why didn't I put them on my list? Styria. These are also like super elite tier 2 servers that could be in tier 1, probably could hang in tier 1 pretty well, depending on who they're against. Oh, I did save Styria already, so I already have them. So why didn't I make them? Why did I not put them on the list? So okay, here's Styria. So Styria, I'd probably put them. Yeah, we're gonna have to move a couple down for Styria and Avon. All right, we're gonna put Styria here and Avon next to them. I think Thuringia, Styria, and Avon are all very, very similar, and probably Dacia. They could just probably fight each other for days endlessly and anybody could be the winner. There's no telling. And I'll go over their top players and as to why. So here we go. Hopefully I didn't miss any other servers. So I do apologize. Frisia, Styria, Avon. But luckily I fixed it and got you up here. So let's go first. Styria is a bit newer. They weren't really like a super server that formed, but they did get a extremely strong infantry whale that went there. Plus, they were already just like a really good authentic server where they just had, those servers that just happen to have really good players from the get go. This is them. So they got ItsDubzYo, which is an infantry whale. Completely max garrison, almost completely max rally. Pretty much max tactics. So yeah, he could definitely compete with tier 1, but in tier 2, super elite. And then they also have a bunch of fighters like this player here, cavalry. This is their king normally. This person just migrated here, so yeah, but it's really these stats here. Actually, it'll take too long. I fought him in the water today, and his stats were like 1450 attack and defense, something like that, and like 630, 650 HP damage. So really high, and it's just hit so much harder when it's infantry. So that's where I got them. Kind of tied with them. You could either put one in front of the other. Very close is Asturias. They have a very, very high kill point fighter here in Hulk. So in tier 2, this is like extremely strong. Can hold garrisons all day long with these type of stats. 1400 plus probably. And then they also have some good top fighters. Infantry. This I know is a good fighter. So if you get this server on your team in tier 2, you're automatically a good force. So yeah. Anyway, so yeah, these are kind of like the top servers in tier 2 in my opinion, if it were to be balanced. Of course, this server here, Bohemia, is not in tier 2 because they're newer, but they definitely could be and be on this top tier here. So after Mecklenburg, I got another server that we're fighting now, and that is, which used to be in tier 1 a lot, but that's Perm. And they got a lot of fighters. They're pretty active, and Viper is a very strong cavalry player. Super good for tier 2. So that's where I got them. So let's throw them on the list. They were purple flag. Here we are. Whoa. All right. So we got Perm here. Next, I'm going with Cappadocia. They are a little bit newer. And don't think I've been in an Odyssey with them yet due to their age. But let's see, 5.5 mil. So let's see, why did I put them here up in tier 2? Because they got players like this that can hold a garrison in tier 2. Solid, all gold warmonger, all gold mounts, all gold tactics. A little bit lower on the books due to their age, but super easy to catch up on like attack and defense manuals if you're in the water every day in Odysseys like Chibi and Relic. It doesn't take long to get level 36 on both of these. So yeah, but either way, they can definitely hold garrisons and rally anybody in tier 2. Pretty strong infantry player. So yeah, a solid tier 2 server for sure. Next, I went with this server right next to them in Might. And that is because Rob, Legendary Rob, aka Superman now, is now down here. And as you can see, the Warmonger, the mounts, the tactics, they can hold any garrison in tier 2 with no problem. So if he's captaining in tier 2, whoever's hitting it's going to take a big loss. It's going to take a lot of refills to try to burn them. And they're probably going to need 2 or 3 rallies. So they're going to need some allies hitting them with them. So if you get this in your team in tier 2, you're a very lucky force. As long as that person is active and can garrison for you. They also have this player here, which is pretty off the charts for tier 2 as far as mounts. So, I mean, they can garrison captain anything in tier 2 as well. Let me see, with prosperity that high, warmonger like that, almost completely maxed, you're probably looking at like 1500 cav attack or more maybe. So yeah, they can definitely bang in tier 2, no problem. Did we have them? No, so they were yellow or gold. All right. Next on my list is going to be this server here, Alsace. They are another one of those newer ones, so have not fought them, but according to their players, see 5.4 mil. So what's cool is like a lot of these servers that I have like ranked very similar in tier 2 are all like younger and all around that 5 billion might range. So I think they're all actually down in tier 3 fighting, so I'm sure they're probably familiar with each other and having good battles down there. So almost all gold, solid gold, level 36 already for being a young server, gold. So, you know, they could hold a garrison in tier 2 pretty decent. Probably around like 1300 attack. And I mean this is a lot of kill points for a young player. So I'm sure this person's throwing their swarms, throwing all 5 marches at everything probably. And this is kind of my thought process when I look at servers when the Odyssey starts and I'm kind of analyzing everyone. I just look at these kill points, might, prosperity, power, and all that stuff. So anyway, yeah, here's another garrison captain that could easily they could hold, but probably not as well as that other one up there. This is probably their stronger one. Yeah, this is a bit stronger. So anyway, that's Alsace. I would definitely put them in tier 2. The next that I put on my list is a younger serverish called Carthage. Haven't played them either, but they do have some good fighters from what I saw. Let's see, 4.7 mil. Okay, so I got them in tier 2 because they have a big player with over 8 billion kill points. Good cav whale, pretty close to all gold mounts. Max attack manual and defense manual. So in tier 2, that's going to be able to hold. Here's an old player. I think they started out in Thuringia, to be honest. I think they were with us for like 1 or 2 Odysseys, but that was like 2 years ago. Yeah, so they have some veteran players over there at a newer server, so they could definitely compete in tier 2. And then next on my list of the final tier 2 I'm gonna tell you what I put down, and I'm gonna put them there. But there's a couple that could definitely go there, and I'll tell you who they are and why. But the one that I put is Hustland. Is it not gonna let me add it? Okay. I'm putting Hustland as the last server in tier 2. And they are still extremely high in might. And that just comes with being the oldest server in the game. You just got people that have been playing forever. They had so many super whales when I first started in Thuringia. They were already huge. So like everybody there is just getting tons of VIP points from all the heavy spenders in the beginning of the game. So they got extra rally reserves capacity. So they can get like 8,000-9,000 troops in their town. So everybody's got huge might. But anyway, they have a high might fighter, high tactics. There's actually a really strong player in tier 2 that can hold garrisons and rally. And plus with might like this, with what is it, 11 billion might, you can keep fighting even when your hospital's full. You know, you put 5 million in the hospital or 500k. I mean, you probably still got like 8 million troops in your reserves. You could just keep throwing. So, and here's a good Cav player. Plus, they've been playing in tier 1 since day 1, like since the very first Odyssey. I think 17 Odysseys now. So they're experienced. They're used to fighting super whales always. So yeah, they could definitely be here for sure. With that being said, there's a couple honorable mentions that could also be in tier 2 and should be in tier 2 in my opinion. Because tier 2, you know, they have tons of servers. It's like 30 or 36, I think. So me just putting 12 here is, you know, kind of not accurate. So other ones that I'd like to mention that could definitely would be Chernigov. They have Vietbet, super whale, extremely strong, can garrison captain and rally anybody in tier 2. Bavaria is very active, almost 7 billion might. Badajaz, about the same size as Bavaria. They got Chrissy the archer. They got Crazy Lord the infantry, strong fighter. Andalusia is very, very strong. Caesarean is extremely strong. Like I want to say like top 10 in prosperity, I think. He can hold garrisons all day. Activity is not what it used to be over there, but they still have some active players. Anatolia is still very good. They can fight and do really well in tier 2. They lost their king threat that went to Flanders, and some other people. At one point they were like crazy strong. They had Richie Rich and some other whales. But yeah, they could still compete for sure. Damn, I may have made a mistake. I got Alania here. Alania should be in tier 2 for sure. Even if it's only 12 like I have here, I just don't know where to put them. Probably like right here, or like end of second row, first in the third row. I forgot. I don't know why I don't have them on my list, but yeah. Is there anyone else here? Leon is Definitely a tier 2 server. If this were ranked like 30 servers as it should be for tier 2, Leon would definitely be on there. Pechenegs is kind of like Pechenegs and Legs. I mean, Pomerania, if there were 30 servers, would be in there as well. And then Swabia is extremely strong. They might be able to squeeze in here on this bottom line, just like Alania. But I just think these servers here on the bottom row that I have put over here, they just have captains stronger than Swabia. Garrison captains and ralliers that can hold. But Swabia does have a lot of active fighters still, and they give everybody a good fight in tier 2, as well as Volga. I feel like Volga and Swabia, in my opinion, are very similar as far as size and fighting ability. So, and then the last one would be Vijayanagara. I call them Vijay because it's just such a long name. But yeah, they're definitely kind of there with Swabia and Volga. So let's see if we can find some of these servers. Bavaria's got, I think Mario for the most part is their garrison captain guy. Andalusia, like I said, has Caesarion, and yeah, 107 prosperity. They honestly might have the most in the game. Warmonger, off the charts for tier 2. All gold for mount and tactic. Thanos, I haven't seen Thanos once this Odyssey, and it's sad to see because he always gave us such a hard fight, whether he was our ally or enemy. But I've heard rumors that someone's playing on it, or maybe he's coming back, which would boost them up a lot in the ranking, in my opinion. And then, like I said, Badajoz is definitely a tier 2. Crazy Lord is a good infantry player. Man, when we had Badajoz on our team one time, they were like the difference maker with us. They were always building next to us and counter rallying with us, and like communication was great with them. So yeah, I mean, Bear, Crazy Lord, Chrissy, Dark Knight, Panda, these are all active Discord users, so yeah, they're really good for communication wise and fighting. I mentioned Chernigov earlier. They're not like active like they used to be, but if they're in your force, this person is somewhat active still, and their garrison's gonna just deplete any enemies that try to hit them. 96 million prosperity. Warmonger off the charts. Mounts crazy for tier 2. This person could probably garrison in tier 1 and put up a really good resistance. The last one I finally mentioned was this here. They don't have the greatest garrison or rally captain, but if they're in your legion, they're going to do extremely well. Because I mean, even though they can hold their own, they have this player here that can captain okay. Actually, they could captain pretty well in tier 2. And then they have this player here. So, but they're definitely active. So, like they're really good at filling and field fighting. Naples is definitely a tier 2. Trump Solo is extremely strong infantry for tier 2. Pretty much all gold. Just one upgrade to get to gold on everything. Probably like 1250 attack defense stats. Probably like 550, 530 HP defense type of stats. See, is there anything else I missed? I feel like I've been recording all day. We are an hour and 6 minutes in, but I really wanted to cover kind of. Oh, we didn't show Alania yet. Alania's got this player here, so they could hold Garrison okay. But what gives them a better boost, other than just the stats, is these kill points. I mean, anybody that's got 11 billion kill points is someone that's going to fight nonstop. And I think, yeah. Plus, they got decently high might, so. Ooh, Wales and Castile. I didn't really cover them. And the reason I didn't really put them in tier 2, which they are, definitely if there's 30, is because I don't know their activity anymore. These two used to be tier 1 servers, like top of the charts for like 2 years straight, 2 years plus probably. I never played them when they were at their peak. I think I played Castile once after like all their whales left, but I'm sure they do still have some fighters that can garrison and rally tier 2. I mean, here's one of them. Yeah, good stats. Just don't know if the activity's there. And then Castile. I mean, Castile's just legendary. Everybody knows the name. Just like Wales. They got all these cool helmets and stuff that I've never been able to get because I'm an original Thuringia player. I'm not from one of like the old kingdoms, but I heard you can only get them from being an old kingdom. I don't know if it was an event or something, but to me they just look cool. Wish I could get one. But yeah, this person could definitely hold up. Only issue is their archer. I don't. You could fill an archer rally, and it can hit, especially if it's like the second rally hitting something and it's not losing as much. But if it's the primary rally or a garrison, there's just not enough refills for archer players, I feel. Unless you're one of those tier 1 servers and they probably have everybody training all troop types so they could just keep filling. But yeah, I mean, this person here too. This person's actually super strong. So if this person's active, they could totally hold a tier 2 garrison pretty well. So yeah. Castile and Wales, if there's 30 servers in tier 2 instead of just 12 like I did, they're absolutely in there and doing pretty good. Back to the list though. I don't know how well you're able to see it with it zoomed out. So I think any of these 4 servers right here, and on the first line of tier 2, Thuringia, Styria, Asturias, Bohemia. Even these 4 down here, these top 2 lines, I bet you tier 1 players would love to see us in tier 1 with them. I'm not going to throw any shade at any servers. because I don't have any like beef or dislikes of anybody in any servers really, but there are a couple that are like pretty dead. I mean, it's just is what it is. People migrate, things happen, servers just die out. And although these servers here don't have like the strongest garrison captains, well, some of them do, like Dios are here, and I don't know, some of these do, but these servers here would thrive and do amazing in tier 1, and it'd be cool to see us up there. Even if tier 1, instead of, because they, some odysseys, they only have like 1 or 2 servers per force. If they were to put like 3 or 4 servers in a force and make like 20 to 30 teams in tier 1, it would be crazy to see these 12 there plus these 12. I mean, I'm sure the Realm Odyssey chat would just be like every second a new message, because there's so many active players in almost all of these servers on this on these 2 pages. But typically, as of lately, we're seeing some of these extremely strong tier 1 servers down in tier 2. Right now, Busan and Savoy are down in tier 2, and like I said, I mean, Savoy's got the strongest cap player in the game, undoubtedly. Busan's got, I'm not in tier 1, so I can't say for sure, but in my opinion, probably the second strongest in the game. I mean, these guys both got like over 500 million might. I mean, and the one in Busan's also got like 13 or 1400 infantry attack. So he can get refills from anything. So I think putting them back, and if anyone's listening still, appreciate you. If the devs are watching, putting in Busan and Savoy in tier 1 would definitely help the game and player base. I don't think they want to be down in tier 2. I know for sure Savoy did not want to be in tier 2. I saw their super whales when, as soon as the Realm Odyssey chat opened, they're like, are you serious? They're like, again? Like, they went from tier 3 up to tier 2, which was probably, definitely better for them. They got some pretty good fights in tier 2, but I think putting them in SPPB back up in tier 1 would be more beneficial. I don't know how Flanders feels about where they are down lower in the tiers. I think tier 3 or tier 4 because they're younger, but they got some crazy whales there. Roar, Navarra, like I mentioned, just fights so freaking hard. They're a couple of whales, and their R4 squad are just elite, super elite. They actually kind of bully tier 2, not as like they're bullies, but like that's how strong they are. And I just think they're just a great, amazing, strong server and should be up in tier 1. And then so stable servers like myself in Thuringia and Asturias, Sage, which would be Perm. We're kind of like we've been here in tier 2. We belong here. We're like one of the stronger ones there, but we're kind of like just kind of staying steady as we are, because we don't have special migrations and stuff. But some of these new servers that I have on this list, ones that have old super whales that went down to them, they're gonna grow quick, and they're gonna take over some of these spots in tier 1, I believe, from some of these older servers that have been here a long time. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. Anyway, in a perfect world, in my mind, in a perfect world, this would be tier 2 or tier 1 here on the left. Let me know if you agree with this list. Of course, no one's going to agree with everyone in order, but just overall, if these 12 are in tier 1, you know, would that be amazing, or would it be, you know, not? And then same thing here for tier 2. Maybe not in order, but these servers here, I think would make an amazing tier 2 Odyssey. Let me know if you agree. Anyways, that's it for a very long video. Hopefully it was informative. Hopefully you learned kind of some insight into these servers. Based on my opinion, everyone's is different. In devs, hopefully you paid attention. Anyways, appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Peace.